Now we're live.
We ain't,
Uh,
we ain't gonna get famous with you starting prior to stream.
uh, any in
How's
the
my? Sorry, I'll quiet now.
back at the ranch,
Last time.
we and our fancy new coterie had gotten together at the local Whataburger. We essentially discussed our potential options and what's going on with the coterie in general, with our new domain. Primos, I don't know why I wrote this down, picked up Victor. We all showed up at the local Whataburger.
Because I made you sign. No, you can't just skim over that. I made you sign a form.
Yes.
That was legal
There was a
documentation.
waiver involved. Legally binding waiver.
Oh man, I need to check my junk mail. Vinny showed up, paid Primrose the money that from her previous heist. And then we actually established the coterie. We put points into multiple different things, primarily into Haven. It's particularly a campus, so we wanted to take advantage of the library and what that would inherit. We also put some points into Mask, which is basically our identity at that campus, on tap, and a retainer. Somebody essentially handle things around for us. I believe they are chaff people, right? Not very distinguished or anything like that.
Well,
Just a regular helper.
you guys have a 3-dot ghoul retainer at some
Holy
point,
shit!
so that is something we'll probably want to talk about this evening. Figure out how
Oh, yeah.
that comes about, who is doing the ghouling, because even though he works for you all collectively, one of you has to be the primary, just because of how ghouls work.
And
Or you can try to convince Bonnie to loan you Vinny, I guess.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, we want the loyal ghoul. No foundation connection.
Vinny's loyal insofar as he likes you, but if Bonnie tells him to do something, he's gonna do whatever Bonnie tells him.
Yeah. And with the establishment of the coterie, we essentially split off with a plan. Victor and Vinny and Felix were going to decipher information without the phone. I believe Waffles and Primrose were going to go and do some recon on some near do wells. Unless I'm just spitting incorrect facts.
No, that's true.
The gist of it.
Yep. In the meantime, before we get into that, we unfortunately don't have Jeezy here tonight. So, back to the DM.
Poor Victor disappearing from the group for the evening. Catch up with him at a later time and see what he gets up to during this time off. But first of all, it's a new night, so you know what that means. Time to play Do We Get Hungrier?
Our first time.
Ooh, Felix finally, after a few nights of crazy things happening, it's a little bit peckish. Up to hunger 2 for you now. The beast inside rattling its cage a little. Also, sir, you should have 8 experience, not 5.
Did I spend some for the coterie?
You might have spent some for the. That makes sense.
That tracks.
That tracks. Okay. In the early moments of the evening, as you're all still separated and doing your own thing, getting ready for a night in the big city of San Antonio, Primrose, your phone rings.
I pick up. Ahoy. Hello.
Hey, Prim, it's Vinny.
Whoa. We're texting. You're calling me. What's happening?
Hey, don't get the wrong idea, right?
I'm getting it. Unless you tell me what's happening. What's happening?
Well, good news and bad news. Good news is that we got into that phone that you gave me to see where these guys have been hiding out. Bad news is the place is a fucking fortress. We sent a couple boys down there during the day to scope it out, and they had a few bullets sent flying their way, but everybody's good. But yeah, it's pretty well guarded. I'll send you the address, but I'd recommend not going in without a plan.
How many guys did you send?
We sent a car full, so 5, 6 maybe.
And what did those 5, 6 people see? Is it also can I make this a group call?
Yeah, sure. Do whatever you want. Just keep certain details about things, on the DL.
Yeah, it'll just be the little group I've been hanging out with,
All right.
and then I'll do my phone
Group call.
group call.
Victor doesn't seem to answer for some reason. But for you other two, your phones begin to buzz and or ring. If they ring, out of curiosity, what is the ringtone you have set for your friend Primrose here?
I don't use phones. It just has like the default iPhone.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're not close.
We'll get to the question of how you have her name saved in your phone at a later time. That might be more telling.
Hello.
Welcome to the conversation that's happening right now.
Hey there.
Oh yeah. Well, howdy.
Howdy.
What's going on?
Well, like I was telling Primrose here, we were able to break into that phone that you gave me, found out where they're at, and sent a car full of people there. They ended up getting shot at. Turns out the place is a little bit of a fortress right now.
When'd you send them?
We send them during the day.
And was there no police or law enforcement response to active shooting during the daylight hours?
It's far enough out of town that people didn't seem too concerned about the gunshots.
Okay, country. I got you.
So there are humans, right? Shooting guns, not vampires.
Yeah, regular, hardworking, everyday people like you and me. Could be that there's a few people a little bit more like me.
I don't mess with them goth subcultures, little one.
I'll give you the same. But
Alright.
just wanted to appraise you all of the situation and give you a friendly word of warning. If you're gonna go in, I'd go in carefully.
they make any mention of any particular soft points?
It was difficult for them to find out too much while getting such an eager response back from our hosts. But we're looking into any potential plans for the place, blueprints, that sort of thing that might tell us more.
Insiders, any particular vantage points across the town? I could scope it out too if need be. Under the, under a normal guise.
Well, like I said, it's a little outside of town, southwards.
You gotta stick out like a pig in a quinceanera out in the country, boy.
Who says I'm going to be inside the country?
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I'm lost as well.
As in, I'll be far enough away where they won't notice me.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Anything else, Vinny, or is that pretty much it?
That's all I've got for you right now. Maybe I can turn up something more in a few nights. But, yeah, that's all I got.
What nerd? Keep this posted, man.
Will do. Unless the boss lady says otherwise, but...
Oh. Then that'll be fun times, huh?
Yeah, I think she's interested in seeing how this plays out.
If she has a particular desire or want in accordance to change the plan, just keep us in the know.
I will pass along your message and respond if she requests me to.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
She wants us to go in there and wants to give us some sort of favor. You know. She has the means for it, right?
She does. She certainly does. I'll see what she thinks, and I'll get back to you. He says his goodbyes and hangs up.
All right. Shall we meet at the Whataburger?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right. See y'all then. I'll click off and start heading my way there.
Seems to have become the favorite haunt of of the coterie.
What a coterie.
What a coterie.
Just like you like.
Just like you like it. Right.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever think we would name the coterie that?
I didn't think that was an official name. It was a placeholder.
Wow. How things turned out, man.
I'm just waiting on word to change it to something else, but I mean, it's whatever.
I think it's the correct name right now.
Some would say that the best names are the ones that choose you.
That's a cat owner mentality.
Yep.
I don't know.
Paul. His name is Paul.
Right. The current members of the coterie arrive within short order.
Alright. Now, there is the thing about a retainer for our particular place, y'all, that we should probably talk about and then let Victor in on the loop for him.
Okay.
And it's essentially somebody to safeguard our little haven/library. We can choose to see if the boss lady has somebody that we could use, or maybe it's best if we find our own ghoul.
You don't, right. I don't think it's wise to be one telling of any character everything we say, because anything and everything we do and say is getting reported to someone.
Yeah.
Everything. And you don't want to be beholden to anybody more than necessary. I'd say you're the one picking it out. I'd say, I mean, I don't truck well. I don't truck with people.
Okay.
Like,
there is the man. Topher, can you remind me like what the capability of this 3-pit ghoul would be?
Yes. It's gonna take me a second to find it, but I can do that.
So depending on the person, right, the capabilities of what they would have, they are essentially going to be our daytime wingman. So there's like a certain set of like characteristics that we would be looking for before we decide to hire anybody on. Particularly somebody who could drive would probably be a good idea. Lives a nightlife, or is able to live in such a way where they can. I don't know. I feel like I'm being too accommodating with this.
No, I mean, you want someone specific. That's good.
you need to know what you want them to do, brother. What you want to hire someone to do. If you want them to gently watch over you while you nap, then they're gonna need a completely different set of skills than if you want someone to chauffeur you around or act as a bodyguard. You want to give them a little bit of the special sauce. That's on you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to. I'll just have to take a look around and see, because I think I need to start scouting for talent. I have a couple of people back at my place that I could use, but it might have to be somebody separate from that.
A 3-dot retainer has the description of a retainer competent enough to act independently and make lesser problems go away. They are likely a ghoul with traits equivalent to gifted mortals on top of their supernatural abilities. Which supernatural abilities will depend on who is doing the ghouling, as I mentioned before.
And if Primrose, so if I read that correctly, like basically what our clan is would determine what their supernatural ability would be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are able to get, I think, a single dot in disciplines that their sire has.
Yeah.
Which for me would either be a little bit of agility or the fact that they could turn invisible, which would be wild for a human.
Slide or obfuscate, yeah. I mean, Primrose would probably be punching, running, or like sparkling. I have punching, disappearing, and well, the best boys. But
let me shoot Victor a text really quick.
You're texting Victor? Are you using the group chat or are you texting him individually?
Group chat.
Okay. Then we have that in the channel. You can send that message. You have that thread somewhere right here.
Yeah, you have to hit the ACBN, and then there's the thread that pops out when you hover over it.
Yeah, I see it there. While he is doing that, anything anybody else want to talk about or do?
My bad.
Primrose. The reason Vinny got so weird in the chat is you don't talk about our kind of stuff over electronics typically, because you never know who's listening. And there's a lot of taboos around it. There's segments of society that'll borderline hunt you down and kill you for having a phone in the wrong place, because they're that technophobic. It caused some trouble a long time back, from what I know, but I don't know too much about it other than that.
Noted. I think next
Yeah.
time he wants to give some information, I'll just tell him to meet us at whatever.
In
at
person,
the spot.
or just be vague, or just code words, vague words. Like, I picked up to calling our kind of goth kids typically, and the flavor of goth just depends on who they are.
Are you asking Victor that because we're picking who has the spawn basically?
Essentially.
As the spawn.
I don't agree with having a spawn, so I'm out of it.
Seriously.
I
You would
don't
have
want
said,
the responsibility of a ghoul. I'm not ready. No one asked me if I was ready. I don't want it.
are you ready for a ghoul?
No.
Mine would be a
I can
dog.
barely take care of myself, and now you're telling me to
I-
take care of a ghoul. I can't.
No, this ghoul would be taking care of you.
For all intents and purposes, I have one already. It's just not
Yes.
quite there because it's my dog.
I think since you put the meta pips into the thing, you're responsible for your ghoul. You gotta
take-
change his diapers. Sorry.
Take
It's
it for
not my
walks.
Well, with that, I suppose I'm gonna go ahead and get started and looking for.
Well, hey, you only
somebody.
have to feed him once a month. Or her.
Wow. You'll
Or
save so
they.
much money.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started looking around for people who would fit that bill.
Okay.
That might be an activity that could take more than one evening of research and just.
Indeed, it certainly will be. Indeed, it certainly will be. And that is honestly something you and I can talk about outside of the session itself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But we'll say that for the next few nights, at least, or however long it's going to take, you are on the hunt for someone suitable to employ, as it will.
All right. Well, what does that leave for doing for the rest of the evening then?
Yeah.
So there's a boxing club I want to check out at some point. I don't know if you guys want to go with me. I don't know what's there, but I kind of want to go because I can go, and I got told about it, and I want to go visit it before I forget about it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's go ahead and make that a trip. Any other DV?
Oh, I appreciate the invitation. I don't go in public too often.
No.
It is a little difficult for Waffles given his appearance, unfortunately.
You could buy. Can get you like a luchador mask or something.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
You'll be right at home.
You know, she has a point. That would actually work pretty well.
To a degree, it does, but I already cover up fairly well for most of it. But like, I'm not just covering my face ain't gonna solve everything.
Well, if someone says something to you, I'll beat them up.
It's not so much someone saying something to me. It's more fiery vengeance and witch hunters.
Mm.
Like, you got to realize my kind are not like we don't go in public. It's a matter of safety.
That's fair. I won't force you to go. I just extended the
Thank you.
invitation.
Oh no, and I appreciate it most kindly of you, but it's not the safest bet for me to go. I can look into some of the stuff we were talking about. I might go poke around that area. You mentioned you did a raid not too long ago on one of these locations where you found your little thin blood friends.
Yeah.
If I can get the address to that where you did that, I might go poke around there some and see if I can find anything.
Not a terrible idea. You remember, Primrose, that whole situation being very much like in and out, guns blazing sort of situation. So there wasn't exactly a lot of time to snoop around and investigate the place when you were done.
True. I will relay that and also the address, but I will ask you to let me know when you're going to go do this, unless you're doing it right now.
I was thinking about just going and do it now, like while y'all are out doing other things that require a face that a mother could love. If you want me to hold off, like you want to go with me or something, then I can wait. There's other things I can do.
I think maybe we could all go together.
All right,
It might be safest.
I ain't against it, none.
The
So-
address she gives you is to the southwest, south of the Hidden Valley RV Park, down along I-35. Small storage facility.
All right. Yep. Roll out. Carpooling, y'all gotta follow along and meet there.
Carpool, right? I have
Yeah,
a car. Wait, do I have a
Sorry,
car?
my headphones died. 1 second.
You certainly have the resources to to be able to afford a vehicle. Want one?
Did I bring one to whatever?
I mean, you've gotten a ride from other people. Well, no, I mean, you drove Victor last time, so yeah, I assume that you drove to meet everybody at Whataburger.
Okay, so we all came in our own cars.
Yeah, seems that
And
way.
we'll carpool. Yeah, we should carpool.
all right.
Yeah.
So if my dog can come, I'll ride with someone else. Don't bother me none.
At this time of night, it's not a terrible drive. The bulk of the traffic has slowed down just a little bit here on what is not necessarily the outskirts of San Antonio, but outside of where the major traffic jams would be, where all the touristy stuff is. So, the ride doesn't take long. And before you know it, you're pulling into the somewhat familiar parking lot, Primrose, of one of those rental storage facility places with the individual units. There are a pair of larger ones towards the back of the complex that were being used to hold your thin blood friends.
Are there any like lights on or anything?
There are lights somewhat regularly interspersed along the various units. It is a big enough complex where it's somewhat maze-like when you enter into it, but knowing where you're going allows you to get to the back of the place fairly quickly. And it seems, at least for the moment, deserted.
Okay. And did when I first went through this way, since we didn't like actually go through the scenario,
Mhm.
was it also deserted?
It was for the most part, but the back two units that were being used by the gang members to hold Wiz and Stephanie, that was fairly decently guarded. About as well guarded as the garage was when you guys went and saved Vinny in the van. Sounds like a sitcom, Vinny in the van.
Benny in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Benny.
But this evening, as you pull up to it, you see that the area has been cordoned off by police do not cross ribbons.
Oh,
All right. Are there any lingering policia in the area that
You
we can notice?
sitting in your car outside, you don't see any, but there is a cruiser parked nearby.
anyone in it?
Not that you can see.
Okay. So we should note that there might be.
It is very probable that there is at least one officer on patrol here.
All right. Sneaking in. All right.
It just so happens to be what this group is pretty good at, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, without much delay, as we pull up, Waffles just gets out of the car, gets your old TB, his lovable canine companion out, and like, well, let's go see what's going on.
Alright.
Like, and the crisscross, it's not like blocking off the lot or anything. It's like, is it blocking off like the area where the people were held?
There is, it might be easier if I kind of draw it out here.
Yeah, I mean,
So you've got a number of storage units, right? Kind of
yeah.
lining the area. And then sort of on the back, there are a couple of larger ones.
Okay.
Just out. So,
Like a storage facility.
yeah. And it
Yeah.
seems like they have kind of cordoned off the area kind of directly in front of them. So, along with a few strands kind of over the sliding doors of the units themselves.
Okay.
Primrose, you happen to recall from your previous visit here that there is a rear entrance, a smaller door on the back side of this one here.
Okay.
All right. Well,
And we'll say, just for sake of the police cruiser is like right here.
all right.
I reactivated the main stage, but you should be able to just navigate over back to that if you need to reference.
Yeah. Oh, I'll stay away from the front of the police cruiser because there's cameras in those. But head back that way, see if there's Or I can get in without too much trouble.
Okay.
The rear entrance, right?
Oh, that's great. If there's a rear entrance, that's even better. Hell yeah.
Cool.
We'll go in the back door.
All right. Are you going? I assume you're going stealthily, most likely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can't identify the police officer, I'm gonna try and be subtle about it.
Are you doing anything supernatural to aid you in such an endeavor?
Not at the moment, no.
Right. Then stealth and dexterity checks for me, for those of you who are creeping around. I'm just creeping around right now. You just can't see me. God, that's an old video. Holy shit.
You said stealth and dexterity, right?
Indeed. Oh, let's see. It's like Waffles, you already fixed yours. Primrose. There we go. I went ahead and refreshed your willpower since it is a new night. Four successes from Felix. Nothing from Waffles.
Alright. That's quality stealth right there.
Quality stealth.
Yeah, I'm just...
As far as you know, you're
Oh, yeah.
silent, like the night.
Yeah.
The three of you begin to creep around, staying out of the cone of vision of the police cruisers' onboard cameras as much as possible. As you get close to that corner, you hear a voice. Sounds like a man speaking on the phone, quite possibly to a spouse of some kind. They seem to be in a heated argument.
I'm nosy.
You're nosy. You want to try and hear what they're saying?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go
I think
ahead.
we're all in it there, maybe for different reasons, but...
Let me
It
have
would be
you
like
make.
looking around and listen at the same time, you know.
Let me have you make a wits and awareness check to see how much the storyteller has to come up with these spouses arguing over the phone.
Mine is more, I want to know, I'm just trying to make sure, see if he's going to wander off or not.
Gotcha.
Like, it's more awareness of the area and making sure, seeing if anything else is coming around.
Sure.
I'm not necessarily worried about the content of the conversation.
I'm just saying, considering the amount of dice I had and the amount of successes I got,
Oh, yeah.
I want to know.
None of you have quite peeked around the corner just yet to see what he's doing. But you can hear that he sounds like he's kind of pacing back and forth. He actually sounds like he might be kind of generally straying away from that back door there. What you hear is him exasperatedly telling the other person on the line, "Look, honey, I know she's your mom and she needs a place to stay for a little while, but can't we get her a hotel room or something?" And a similar back and forth like that.
Well, he seems proper distracted.
Sure does.
Sneak. Look.
Okay. You want to go around the corner and see if you can slip on in?
Yeah.
Okay. You come around the corner and you can see that he indeed is kind of slowly pacing away from the doorway, thankfully looking in the opposite direction. Kind of heading towards the other back of the unit that's next to this one. and continuing to have his conversation and explicitly trying to deny that he doesn't hate his wife's mother, but
I'll do a little like in my brain tisk as I slip past and go through the doorway.
the doorway itself is open, but it has a cross of that police line over it. Nothing you can't duck underneath, though.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay. Is anybody following her, or just holding still for the moment?
I'll follow him.
Following?
I need to investigate in there, but it's going to be hard to do with him just pacing around.
Yep. None of you would dominate. Ah, shucks.
I'm gonna activate a discipline, feral whisper, so I can actually tell my dog to do things specifically.
Okay. I do believe that requires a rouse check.
It requires a rouse check to do it. I don't have to make rolls for telling my famulus to do things, like having summoning them and having them do things. But I do have to do a rouse check.
Just to activate the ability. Cool.
Just to activate it. It's active for a scene, so I'd imagine for this scenario it would be good.
Yes.
So we go ahead and roll. Excellent.
Okay. You are
Alright,
A-okay. The beast does not get tempted by your use of the vitae to encourage this power. And you feel that bond solidify with your faithful canine companion.
Alright, buddy. I need you to try and lure him off for a while. Buy us some time.
He kind of tilts his head as you speak and gives a soft little roof in acknowledgement.
Alright, excellent.
He scampers away.
Make a commotion if he starts coming towards us, but
okay.
Try and distract him for a little while.
All right. He actually takes the long way around, kind of going back towards the front of the building and then going around all the way. And after a few moments, you can hear this pitiful whine, as if, and he kind of like hops around the corner holding a paw up very pathetically.
My heart.
You hear the officer go, "Oh shit, honey, I gotta go. I'm sorry." And he hangs up the phone. And he walks over to try and see what might be wrong with this poor pitiful dog.
Once he moves away, so I'm gonna try and slip in.
Easy enough now that he is distracted. Right, inside there are a few lights on inside of the unit itself, but they don't quite reach all the corners of the room, giving it a very shadowy look. There are several rows of some of those like fit together metal storage racks along the walls and kind of spaced in rows in the center of the unit, along with a table which looks to be filled with all manner of just strange cookware. Got crock pots, you got various thermoses and flasks. It almost looks like a homemade laboratory, but a lot of it has been smashed and made completely inoperable. Primrose, you of course recall that the damage was done partially by Asher with a baseball bat that he took to the equipment. Explaining that he wanted to be sure that no one else could use it in case someone had gotten Wiz's recipes.
I see. I'll relay that as we look over it.
Alright.
You can also see the remnants of the chains that were used to hook Wiz basically to the table to keep them working.
I don't know if there's much left in here or anything of that nature, but I was hoping I could get some investigate, look around, get some gleaning or understanding about more information about this group that's running it.
Sure.
Like just just anything at all. Like we don't know anything about them at all outside the group. Like we or next to that, we know very little about it, and I want to see if I can gain any more because it seems like it was an important location for them.
Sure. Go ahead and make me a. Let's have you do wits and investigation. A quite good roll for you.
Let me go ahead. I want mucho successes. So
Mucho successes. Yeah,
give
absolutely.
me a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think that auto marks. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. Let's see if I can get me mucho successes.
Okay, so a total of 5 successes. Pretty good. It's rather a
Excellent.
decent amount of successes. So, one thing that becomes very obvious to you given your background is that this place has already been cased over by police detectives. Things have been left in as much of the same state as they were found in, but as any crime scene, there's liable to be some bits and pieces that have been moved or handled one way or another, hopefully with proper procedures in place. You notice that there are a couple of places on the ground where there are old bloodstains. Thankfully, none of you are hungry enough for that to be a problem for you, and you're able to kind of view everything with a clear head. But it seems pretty obvious that a decent amount of violence has occurred within this storage unit. You also see traces of little wrapping papers that match the wrapping papers that were around the little red candies that you had confiscated, the drug Crimson that they were making here and peddling. You find a few pieces of the actual Crimson drug itself scattered about, almost as if someone had grabbed a bag of them off one of the shelves and quickly took it with them. Like after whatever happened here, they tried to grab and take as much stuff as they could. Which unfortunately means, other than the things that are broken here and the remnants of the violence done and whatever was dropped in the hasty escape, it seems like it's been cleaned up fairly well.
Alright, they covered the tracks when they left.
Whatever they did not take, the police did for evidence.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left here. Well, I'm wondering how much this place is new. I'm going on a little bit of a tangent. I'm just thinking together. Forgive me. I don't. They have to have more cook sites than this. The amount that they're, I would assume they'd have more cook sites than this. Like I don't know. Like no, because I saw when I was fucking with those drug dealers a few nights ago, they had a good amount of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I imagine there's a fair amount scattered, not like a prodigious amount, but there's enough scattered around the floor that I noticed it. I'm not sure if the cops know what they're dealing with here, so they didn't collect any of that. I don't know if they know this is what they're looking for, so that might be sleeping above them. But I would hazard to guess they have other locations where they're producing this stuff at. And this just happened to be the one that had the boys you saved. or girls. I don't know what they are.
Is there a particular direction that whoever snatched it went? Or was it just out the front door?
It seems like they were headed towards the door, given the way that the things had spilled out.
Probably bolted out of the back. That also means someone survived y'all's ambush.
Yeah, which probably means they know at least like some semblance of the abilities you'll have.
But, well, yeah. But that makes sense as well. Like,
Well, to be honest, given the way things look in here, it's not hard to tell that a couple of Bruja ran roughshod through here.
yeah. I mean, this place is a disaster. I don't know if there's too much more we could glean out of here, but they're gonna assume if they know what they're dealing with, they're gonna assume that we're, maybe not us in particular, but they're gonna assume that our type is looking into them.
Hmm.
And it almost sounds like they're probably on edge because they had 2 of their dealers hitting the same night.
Primrose, could I get a intelligence and awareness check from you, please? Maybe, Primrose.
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Can I
you said?
get a wits? Sorry, no, intelligence and awareness. Basically, I'm trying to see if you happen to remember anything else in particular from that night. Okay. You remember that you didn't get a good chance to talk to Stephanie is after the events. You basically got them out of there, and then Asher took them from there to wherever they were going to go. But you seem to recall that when Asher and Striga approached you about this little problem and were trying to get your help, that they mentioned that Stephanie and Wiz had been missing for about a week. So there's a good chance that whatever supply they had was from Wiz cooking all week.
Yeah. And we don't know how long it takes to make.
Oh,
Thin blood alchemy is certainly something outside of your realm of expertise.
that is a question. That is something you could probably need to get out of here pretty soon before that cop rolls around again. But that's something you might be able to get some information on, Graham. Considering you might be able to at least speak with them or contact them. And how long does it take them? How much could they produce in that time frame? And does that add up? Because that would kind of point us to whether there's more of their kind either working for or being worked by them to produce this stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure they're probably, if there are more places where they're producing this, they're probably on it, since they weren't treated very well here. They probably don't want others of their same clan or kind to be in the same situation.
Yeah, it's like they might have a dog in the fight to get start taking the stuff down, which we could use. But first thing we need to know, we need to confirm whether they have more of these sites.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's much more I can glean off this location. It's been pretty well picked over, and doesn't look like they were holding any major documentation or anything here.
It's about the time that you say that you hear from outside, "Oh!" Just a pitiful howling wail from your dog.
All right, time to boogie. That's our call.
We have everybody make one final dexterity and stealth check as you try to leave undetected.
Typically better at breaking and entering, not breaking and outing.
You're breaking and entering into the world. That I mean, six successes is pretty good.
It's my job.
That is all right. Since you're all doing this together, I'm kind of taking this as a group average, more or less. So, thankfully, with Felix's roll, you all have plenty.
I'm doing my part.
Shuffling out, you see that the police officer seems to be having a minute of momentary crisis as he's like trying to attend to the dog, and then he was trying to like walk away to go make a call or something, and that's when your dog made the whining, howling that it was to get your attention, and now he's kind of like decision paralysis. But as soon as your dog sees you kind of safely get away, he quickly just gets up and runs away, leaving the police officer very confused and very concerned, but unaware of your presence.
I gotta get better at that.
Right. Pile back in the car, and where to next?
Well, hell. Like,
I did exchange contact information with Stephanie or Wiz. Which one?
Of the two, it's probably Stephanie. Wiz is not exactly a people person.
Oh yeah, so thin blood leader. So we could contact her and see if they have any updates on more production.
Yeah, I mean, the only lead we got right now outside of hitting that compound down south, and I don't want to do that without knowing more.
Oh, I'll dial her number. See if she answers.
Okay. Rings a couple of times before she picks up. Hey, Primrose.
Hello.
What's up, Chica?
Just out and about, doing some things, thinking about things, doing things. Just wondering how you're doing after the whole, being locked up and used for drug stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I appreciate the concern, but I think we're doing okay, all things considered. I mean, you and Asher got us out, and we're set up back home.
Back home?
Yeah. I never got a chance to talk to you. We got a little bar over here by Monterey Park, Inner West Side.
Oh, think we could meet?
Yeah, absolutely. Wiz is out right now, but I'm around.
All right. Is it okay if I bring a couple friends?
Sure.
They're cool.
More the merrier.
Sweet.
Are they they like you?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
They might not have my shining personality.
Well,
but they're
few do, I'm sure.
Well, I didn't know we're so tight. I say in my brain. Well, we're tight. Okay. Well, I'll tell her an ETA. We're on our way.
See you soon.
Am I driving everyone?
I think so. I think everyone's piled in your vehicle in particular.
I hope everyone signed their waivers then. As I skirt my way to the bar.
I've been in worse.
You know, I feel like she forgets the whole you don't talk to people kind of operandus that you go for, but
I'm sorry. My emotions drive me like I'm driving this vehicle. Let's hope my emotions don't actually drive the vehicle.
believe me, my fingernails are like in your like
Whoa.
side arms.
You
I'm
gotta
just in the,
sign another waiver for that.
I'm just in the backseat with my dog, just riding.
That's great. Glad we're all calm and chill.
Everybody's
Oh, yeah.
chill, right? Everybody's
I don't. It's not
cool.
that I don't talk to people. I don't talk to
How is
normals.
how is Perez's driving? Because I'm pretty control freak whenever it comes to who's driving me or not.
You're gonna
Mm.
make me roll a driving check. It's not even that.
You don't
It's not even
need
that serious.
you don't need to make a driving check. No, but
Are you aggressive?
yeah, that's just gonna be what is your general driving stance like? Not even a measure of skill necessarily. Just what is your general temperament behind the wheel?
I'm right and everyone else is wrong. Therefore, road rage, I excel at.
Oh no.
I can't wait to hunt down.
She's the kind of person that when you're driving, someone does something and she screams at them and then like immediately in normal tone of voice just like continues the conversation.
Yep.
Oh man.
That's a mood.
That's super real. Yeah, that would freak me. That would freak Felix out. He's he'll survive. He knows that for sure. It's just there's like some little past trauma on like people being a little crazy on the road.
Felix, you get the sense that if things were to really get bad, you wouldn't necessarily want her behind the wheel.
I
So-
think I'll be driving next time.
So hopefully nothing goes bad.
If I'm going down, everyone else on the road's going down with me.
That waiver is shredded.
How much blinker I need to cross 8 lines? None. Good luck, everybody else. Yep.
It's about a 10-minute drive or so before you're pulling in to the address she had sent you. It's a little almost dive bar looking place called Flying by Wire. Just a few blocks over from Monterey Park.
Okay. Walk on in.
You walk inside. There's a few patrons milling about. There's some music playing from a jukebox in the corner. A rather tired-looking man is standing behind the bar, and he kind of raises an eyebrow at the four of you coming in. Welcome to Flying by Wire. Name's Terrell. Can I get you anything? Open a tab, maybe?
Sure. I'll buy everyone a drink if they want to drink. We can drink, right? Or is that like this is like a vampire BTM question.
So, normally, your body does not like anything that is not blood. You can use your vitae to activate the Blush of Life, tempting hunger, but allowing yourself to maintain the appearance of being alive. It makes your body look like it's breathing. It makes you have color, makes you warm to the touch. You know, faking being a normal, living, breathing human. It also allows you to eat or drink human foods, but at the end of the night, it's all coming back up.
Okay.
And all of you are still at a high enough humanity at this time in order to be able to do such a thing. It costs a rouse check.
I will tell him that we're friends of Stephanie. And that whatever Stephanie wants us to drink or would order, we'll take 3 of those.
He nods and goes, "Hey, Stephanie, your guests are here." And Stephanie kind of comes out from a back room looking much more chipper than she was the night you had to pull her out of that storage unit. Give me one moment and I can give you a picture of her. Not add her to Obsidian for some reason. One moment. I gotta track her down. Oh yeah, I've got a mid-journey question for you later, Dare. For something I was cooking up.
Sure.
Just scrolling up through all these hot vampires.
Oh no, he's hot. Imagine there being a plugin that every single time we roll a bestial failure, Jesus.
Bestial flare.
Bestial flare. When somebody rolls one of those, if there's like a VTT plugin that would play the sound, "Oh brother, this guy stinks."
Oh brother, this guy stinks. That would be incredible, honestly. Do I not? I could have swore I had art for you, Stephanie. I could have sworn it. Let me check and send it. See if I sent it to Kaysen, because I might have done that. I show her all the artwork I generate before you guys get to see it.
Lucky them.
I know. That's what she gets for not playing. Like, cool, you're not playing, I get to tell you all my secrets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whenever you choose like to not play with the DM, like you are at the mercy of like, oh yeah, I know you're interested in this stuff, and I know you're interested in art. Yeah, you're gonna get to see all this good stuff.
Oh, okay. Yep, I did have it. I don't know where it is. But that's Stephanie.
Let's see. Oh wow.
Oh, she looks cool. Cool hair.
Yeah.
Cool jacket.
Yeah, that jacket's really cool, and the necklace too. It's like a question ankh.
Yeah. She's wearing a UTSA jacket on. She comes around the corner. Hey, welcome to Flying by Wire.
Swanky place.
Thanks. It does okay for itself. She kind of points to the limited personnel. Why don't y'all come back to the office and we can talk.
Sure.
She kind of brings everyone into the back. It's kind of a smaller, cramped little place, so everyone kind of has to squeeze in. Okay.
Victor. No, wait, Felix, because Victor's not with us. So I'll
Victor is
introduce
not with
Felix
us. Yep.
and Waffles.
Hey guys, I'm Stephanie.
Felix will tip his hat. Howdy.
I'm Country
How are
Boy.
you?
I don't know about country boy, but it is country.
So, what brings you to my little neighborhood here?
Where are the drugs? No.
Where are they? Where's Dent?
So
Swear to me.
we went back to the place where we rescued you to see if we could figure out anything we didn't see first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the thought that maybe there's more places where thin bloods are being used to make this thing, and maybe you guys had more information. Now that you're free from the shackles of uh these people,
God, I
basically,
hope
we just
not.
want to know what's up.
As far as I know, only a few people, like Wiz, knows that particular recipe. Not all of us. For those of you who don't know, hi, I'm a thin blood. Not all of us are. Not all of us do that. The whole alchemy thing.
How difficult is it to make like one of those things?
Well, it's hard to say. I've only ever seen Wiz make them, and they crank those things out like nobody's business. But he's a little, or they're a little obsessed with their job, so I don't know if that counts.
How much did he make in the time you were there? Just rough.
Oh gosh, we were
Duffel
there.
bag full?
Probably at least 6 of those duffel bags. At least. Maybe more. No more than 10.
So I can account for, I'd bet 2 of them. So I saw one, and then there's the other. But if y'all only cranked out 6 to 10 of them, give or take, a limited number, more than I thought you would, but if we could find out how many more locations are distributed around, it'd be an idea if they. All right. Their distribution network.
I'm guessing you know what it is, since you're so worried about it.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, it wasn't meant to be used in that way, but these guys came in and thought that they could make a profit of it, and I don't know.
What was the original purpose of making a drug like that?
Well, it makes mortals just feel good, you know, really mellow, kind of high, that sort of thing. But for us, those of us with a taste for blood, it makes us sluggish, drowsy. I think Wiz described it as if he were able to make it in a more concentrated form, he could put one of us to sleep, like full on torpor.
So, you guys were developing it just because you wanted to experience that, or because someone else wanted you guys to make it?
You dose someone of us with us, especially younger ones. You knock them out. then they're easier to prey upon. It's one thing.
We
One obvious use I can
prefer
see for it.
we prefer to see it as a means of defense. We Thin Bloods don't have a lot of those.
Yeah, it's being weaponized. I'm wondering what it does to. I have some curiosity on it. I don't know the science behind it. I'm wondering if its presence in a normal person's bloodstream would have a similar impact on someone else who happened to have someone happened to take a nibble.
From what Wiz was telling me, and keep in mind it's all techno mumble jargon, what we were making was essentially a like I said, diluted version of what we could make. A part of that is because we didn't want to give them the full, the full potency. The other being it requires a lot more, blood. So the amount that's in like one or two of those candies is not enough to affect someone drinking from someone who's had it. In larger doses, maybe. We didn't exactly get a chance to test these things out,
A habitual user could have ill effects on someone else who, but it's not confirmed because it was
Possibly.
a reduced amount.
But if one of you were to take one or two of it yourself, you would start to feel a little, sluggish, a little tired, but it wouldn't knock you out. So silver lining, she says with a questioning look, like a hopeful smile and a shrug.
I don't know enough about it to say yay or nay. I don't know what manipulation could be applied into it to cause other effects either. I'm not a chemist or someone who has that expertise. But the fact they're weaponizing it is just not good for anyone. Or not weaponizing it, trying to distribute it in a mainstream aspect. It's only a matter of time before the police or someone gets wind of it, and then if the police get wind of it, the cat's possibly out of the bag.
Could definitely lead to trouble. That is, unless the Camarilla spin doctors step in. Which
maybe step away for 1 second. Be right back.
Yep. Yeah. Which, it's happening outside of their jurisdiction, but rumor through the grapevine is new prince incoming, so who knows?
We'll see. I don't know.
So, when you guys started developing this, or when Wiz started developing it, I'm just trying to figure out, like, what led you guys to get kidnapped? Who knew? Like, who was your market?
That's a fantastic question. And you have to understand, we weren't making this, like, with the intention to distribute it. Not in that way.
It's like it had to be like, hey, word of mouth, and then that somehow spread to the people who captured you.
Yeah. The short answer is we don't know how they know. But they knew where to grab us, which is saying something for Wiz, because I don't know where they are half the time.
Kind of rough as a leader to be in that position.
You're telling me, girlfriend. You're telling me.
So we're trying to, I guess, help you out in a sense that if you have a lead on who you're might be suspecting, like we can help you do that.
You got a mole or a leak.
Yeah, we're thinking the same thing, and believe this, we're if I do, I would be willing to tell you, Primrose, at least as thanks for dragging us out of that. But the short answer is we just don't know yet. I'm looking into it. Wiz is looking into it on the sly as much as we can, but for all we know, it could just be there's a Nosferatu in that corner there, you know. And she looks over the corner. She looked at, squints her eyes, takes a piece of paper and crumples it up and throws it at the corner. Okay, well you never know.
I would have done the same thing. Don't worry, I understand. But we're opening the line of communication, so if at some point you have a lead, please let us know.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're in the same boat.
You're not.
This is dangerous for you guys.
Your
Your type.
Don't we know
Like,
it?
more than normal than normal. Other than normal sibling rivalry or whatever you want to call it, or however you want to dance around the words. There's facts in this town that'll just wipe all y'all out rather than deal with this if they found that y'all are producing it on massive scale. So that's why
Yeah,
we're trying to figure out how much.
we're
But that's my assumption of it.
we're supposed to have a meeting with the Baron about it soon.
Yeah.
She kind of cringes.
Sir Dibadome, I know.
Well, he hasn't kicked us out of his city yet. Technically, we fall under the Baron of San Antonio, so.
Yep. You're in his territory.
By the way, you haven't happened to have heard from Asher since that night, Primrose?
Have I? No, I don't think so.
Figures.
I checked my messages.
Not a word.
You guys didn't have a chit chat before the night ended?
No, not really. Stayed long enough to make sure I was okay, and then he left. As per fucking usual.
Have you tried reaching out?
I always do.
Damn. If I do hear from him, I'll tell them that you would looks at her that you would like a call, like a text, tell her you're alive.
Hmm. You know what? We can talk about that another night. We can have a girls' night.
Whoa. Sometimes the testosterone in my muscles, but doesn't. It just trails off. Never mind. That's a thought. Yes, girls' night, perfect. Bar, anywhere, I'm down for it.
Sounds good. But yeah, y'all find anything out about the guys who took us?
Yeah, watch out for Hector Ruiz.
Oh. Oh, we have the same last name? Weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's common enough name.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Still sucks, but yeah.
Ruiz, got it.
Also, look out. Any of your people have anything to do with a group called the Putanescas? You might walk out for.
Putanescas. Okay.
They're on the long-lived side, and they're attached to it.
Mm. See that I'm still. I haven't been this way for long, so I'm still learning things. Puttanescas. Okay. Weird. They sound Italian.
Yep.
Huh.
Crime family shit, I'm guessing.
Oh, cool. The mob is involved. Excellent. That's
yeah.
what I need. That's what I need to hear.
Where is Wiz? Do you like know where he is at any moment in time?
They do their own thing unless I have something I actively need him working on. They just kind of do whatever. But they're reliable. When I do need them, they show up.
Okay. I just assume like if kidnapped again or something, like how would you know? But
They usually try to check in at least once every few days. He can actually, or they can actually go out in the day, you know? Yeah, it's super jolly, to be honest. God, I miss the beach. She kind of gets like a far off look in her eye. Anyway, so yeah, they're usually doing a bunch of stuff during the day, and then we'll show up at nights sometimes.
okay. I think if anything, you should help him understand that he could probably get kidnapped again because he's pretty important because of the knowledge he has in his brain.
I imagine the reason he's hard to get a hold of is because he is making some changes, making it more difficult for anyone to find them.
Good. Well, I don't have any more questions for this subject. I'll look at Felix and Waffles.
No, we know how much one of them can produce in a night or in a week, so it's more information we had.
Whatever it is. I mean, we already know how big the place is.
I guess we could ask her about. I mean, it risks giving her the location of where we want to scout. But if she knows anything about that location,
You want to give her the address of where Hector is supposedly laying low?
no, I'm asking Waffles and Felix before I ask her.
We not right now.
We basically, I already just said that we know what the place is and how big it is, but I didn't say where or what.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we give her the location, maybe she has information or can get information with her contact about it.
I mean, that would be up to y'all in terms of trusting this person.
I
And if you're on the fence about it, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah. One, we don't even know anything about. We don't know a whole lot about this, and two, it'd put him in danger more than anything.
Yeah.
Stephanie is just sitting there, looking, trying to look very polite.
I look over my shoulder. Oh my gosh, there's a Nosferatu behind you.
Haha,
Right
very
here.
funny.
I'm just kidding.
No.
Playfully punch, not punch, just like, blow poop on Waffles. I'm sorry. I can't help myself.
I wouldn't feel right putting them in any more your little lady friend any more danger than is absolutely necessary. They don't have quite the same protections we have.
I agree. So if we have nothing more, then I guess we can either leave or have a drink.
All I'll say is, knowing how more towards Stephanie, I'll look at her and I'll be like, knowing how much of that stuff y'all produced, a good question for you to find out if any more is being made, like there's any other manufacturing or anything like that, would be to see you get an idea how much is out there and if it equates to enough to be more than y'all produced. If I don't know.
She nods. Yeah,
Supernatural drugs.
as far as I know, Wiz is the only one in town that can make it, but I'll put the word out and make sure.
If he is, keep an eye out for the kid. They're gonna be after him. This stuff is lucrative for him, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'll try.
All right.
No, we take our leave.
Right.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Come by anytime. We'll talk business or, just hang out.
Yeah.
Girls' night?
Sure.
Hey, girls' night. Oh, I'll hit you up.
Sounds good. I'll let you know if I'm doing some weird shit.
I just kind of
Then again,
assume.
you might want to do that. I don't know.
She politely escorts all of you out of her office. And back into the main room of the flying by wire.
Well, where to? Do we need to do anything at our base?
I'd imagine
Well,
it's still an under construction kind of situation.
yeah, so once you guys have some downtime or would like to dedicate some downtime to setting all that up, one of the things you also need is a mask for it. So, finding a legitimate reason why you would have access to the campus and the library.
Is that boxing place near the college? The text message that I had received. Co-ed boxing club.
Yes. There is a co-ed boxing club that is actually run on the campus itself.
Well, I need to check that out at some point. So that's my next thing. But I will BRB for like 5-10 minutes. I gotta go do something real quick.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I really don't have much of a curt thing to do tonight other than just scope out that address from afar, just to have eyes on it.
Yeah, I keep hitting dead ends when I keep trying to look for stuff.
Yeah. So something like that is probably going to take a little bit of time. If you guys go and do that, that's probably going to be the bulk of your remaining evening, because it's a little ways out of town.
Unless anybody has anything else to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. I'm getting the thought on is that I don't have like. I think Felix would probably go do that, and he'd be okay. I'm kind of stuck on this trying to hunt down how wide is their distribution?
Hmm.
So I'm trying to. I don't. I don't even know if I'm barking up the wrong tree or not. It's just. I don't know.
Well, you know you had the two that you took from
Yeah.
those guys, and then there was at least one that was taken off with at the scene. You don't know how much was there, and if any was there, what was taken by the gang goons, or what was taken by police as evidence.
Yeah.
And what has happened to it if the police have it, and what is going on with it currently. So that those answers probably could be found, but that would certainly, I think, delve into a downtime activity.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get real nose to the ground and sniff it out.
Yeah. Thinking that's where I am largely with my investigatory thing. Is like I've shifted towards stuff that's probably going to take a little while to do because I have no leads that are like quick leads now. Like investigating that place was like, and then that led here,
Yep.
but here didn't lead really to anywhere of note.
And I'm also waiting on stuff too. I still haven't gotten a text back from my contacts.
I have to remind myself what you message your contacts. You did that in our DM. You have a bunch of Warhammer stuff in there now.
Yeah, the unfortunate part about sending lists to each other,
it takes up a lot of space. Yep.
Is my audio going in and out?
Huh? Is your audio?
Not to me.
It's been fine.
Yeah. I want to say sorry. I'm fading a little out. I'm starting to fade out a little bit.
It's all good. I don't think we're probably going to keep the session going much longer. We are admittedly kind of in a weird space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're getting to the point where we think it's time to
do the do,
kind of split up, and then I can just message you guys about downtime activities, and we can handle that on our own time kind of throughout the week. And then next week hopefully is when things finally go down. Your hopefully should be your showdown with old Hector.
Yeah, because I just wanted to be the full group. The other part will be we'll have a few days to gather information and figure stuff out.
Yeah. Take some time to set up find out some information about the place you're going to be probably assaulting or breaking into, and also taking some time to get your domain situated and to get your haven in your domain situated.
Yeah.
And all that comes along with that. So, yeah. And I think the things that Primrose is wanting to do and the things that Felix is wanting to do can be handled as that as well. So yeah, if there's going to be a good time to call it, then now would actually be a decent time to call it.
Yeah.
it seems like it.
Cool.
I'm under the weather a little bit. That's one thing too, is why I'm a little bit not as tied in.
Yeah. No, you're good. I knew that from earlier, so I don't wanna keep you. Well, cool. Then we'll circle back around next time for hopefully a little action.
Oh, yeah,
And
that'll be right.
we'll go from there. But thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. All right.
Goodbye.
Later, guys.